Welcome to Evo India. Now we are all under lockdown, staying at home and staying safe like I hope you too are. Now we've been getting a lot of questions on all the important cars and bikes that have been launched in recent times. So we thought we'd put together these quick specification videos. Now this is not an out and out comparison test. In fact, we have a walk around video of the all new Creta live on the YouTube channel. The link is up here somewhere, so you can click that. We also went down to Chennai to the Hyundai factory and we did a video on how the Creta is being built. The video on that also is here. The link should be up there. This video is a spec comparison of the all-new Creta with the Seltos. This is the most important question. Now, we haven't driven both side by side. We'll be doing that as soon as the lockdown lifts. But this is put together with all the videos that we have shot in the past and tells you the pricing, the specifications, the options, the features, and the equipment on both the Creta and the Seltos. Ultimately, it is styling that is going to swing your decision. So watch this video, let us know what you think, and like and subscribe to the channel. Follow us for more such videos during the lockdown period. Let's start with the styling, and obviously we have to talk about this nose of the new Hyundai Creta. This is a polarizing styling treatment. The headlamps, all LED headlamps with this 3-element DRL treatment. It's got this cascading grille. Hyundai calls this sensuous spottiness. It is interesting for sure, might polarize you a bit, but there is no mistaking this for the world. As for the Seltos, well, it is classically handsome. It is good looking. Now, I have not met anybody who can really complain about the styling about the Seltos. It is in your face, and this LED treatment, all LED headlamps, it's got these LED DRLs which also then stretch into the grille. This is the GT line. That means this is the 1.4 turbo engine. Now the 1.4 turbo is only available with the GT line. On the rear, LED elements in the tail lamps and this chrome strip that connects the two tail lamps. Again, good looking, and the GT line trim gets red accenting all over, so that makes it stand out from the other variants. And of course, it does look good. It's got this black cladding all around the profile that goes into the rear bumper. And as for the Creta, well, you can't miss this because Creta is written big and bold right across the boot lid. Again, the tail lamps, if you notice, it's got this 3-piece treatment of the LED DRLs, and it's got the stop lamp above the edge, above the Hyundai edge. In profile, this turbo, this is lava orange. It looks red, but this is lava orange, and it has a contrasting black roof rails, and black wing mirrors. On the turbo variant, you get the 17-inch alloy wheels, same design as the other variants, but it's gunmetal grey on the turbo variant to differentiate it from the other variants in the Hyundai Creta lineup. The Seltos, this too gets 17-inch wheels. In fact, both the Creta and the Seltos get all-round disc brakes. So discs at the front, disc brakes at the rear, 17-inch alloy wheels on this Seltos. And if you notice, it's got these red accenting for the alloys as well. Onto the interiors, again, very attractive. This is the Seltos. It's got this rectangular treatment on the dash with a floating screen. The seats, dual colored seats, the white, it does make the cabin look more airy and more spacious and contrast well with the black. The driver seat is electrically adjustable, so it's got electric adjust for the driver seat, which helps you get a good driving position. The instrument binnacle, it's got 2 analog dials, and in the middle it's got a 7-inch multi-information display. As is the scene with every other manufacturer, it gets controls on the steering wheel for the volume, for the audio controls, for the cruise control. This is a 10.25-inch touchscreen, which gets Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, a whole load of connectivity, inbuilt maps. Hyundai and Kia both use very logical infotainment and menu systems, so it's easy to operate. The 1.4 turbo gets a 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox and a drive mode selector. Now this is only front-wheel drive, it's not four-wheel drive, but you do get normal, eco and sport modes, and for off-roading you get snow, sand and ice, though that just alters the gearbox mapping, the throttle mapping and the traction control settings. You get seat coolers, you get a cooled glove box and a sunroof. Everybody needs a sunroof, at least in this class. Bose audio on the Seltos. On the GTX Plus trim, you get Bose audio, and the rear seats are comfortable for 4, a bit of a squeeze for 5, but that's the scene with this class, with the midsize SUV class. You also get an air purifier with an AQI index, and that's your USB for the rear seats of the Seltos. Moving to the Hyundai Creta. Now the Creta gets, at least the turbo variant, it gets this red accenting on the aircon vents, which look really nice. The turbo has an all black interior theme, so black seats, black dash, everything is black, which looks very sporty. This is a very nice 4-spoke steering wheel with a flat bottom. You get red stitching on the side of the seats, on the gear lever, which contrasts very nicely with the black, red stitching on the steering wheel also. On the Creta, the turbo engine is only available with the 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox. Like with the Seltos, the Creta also gets this different modes, so you get Eco, Comfort and Sport, and also Snow, Mud and Sand, but it is only front-wheel drive. The seats, even though they're black, they are cooled seats, so it won't get too hot, and you get Bose sound system. The key selling point of the Creta is going to be this huge panoramic sunroof, which stands it apart from the Seltos and also makes the cabin look and seem more airy. You get these nice cushions for the rear seats and blinds for the side windows at the back. Now, in terms of dimensions, there's not much to differentiate the Seltos and the Creta. The Seltos, it has a wheelbase of 2610 mm, a length of 4315 mm. Whereas the Creta, same wheelbase 2610 mm, but the length is 4300 mm because of the slightly different profile of the bumpers. On the front, the Seltos, in terms of the track width, it is 1560 mm, whereas the Creta is 1559 mm. The rear track of the Seltos is 1583 mm, while the Creta is 1564 mm. Otherwise, in terms of all the major dimensions, they are practically identical. The Seltos and the Creta, the shoulder room of the Creta is 1260 mm, while the Seltos is 1280 mm, which means the interior, the door pads are slightly different in terms of the profiling. The height of the Creta is 1635 mm, while the Seltos is 1645 mm. That means it has got little more prominent roof rails. But otherwise, in terms of dimensions, they are both bang identical. The width, 1790 mm for the Creta, 1800 mm for the Seltos, which only means that the Seltos has slightly wider wing mirrors than the Creta. On the powertrain front, both the variants that we're talking about get the same 1.4 turbo petrol engine. This is the Seltos, which gets TGDI badging on the rear, on the hatch, and the Seltos, the turbo engine is only available on the GT line variant. The turbo on the Seltos can be had with a 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox as well as with a manual gearbox. On the Creta, you only get the 7-speed twin-clutch gearbox. Now, what we're looking at right now is the Creta, and the Creta gets turbo badging on the boot lid to identify that this is the turbo variant. The red glow on the dials is because this is now in sport mode, so the dials glow red, and the Creta can only be had with the 7-speed twin clutch, but it gets paddle shifters for the gearbox. So that is the big difference between the Creta and the Seltos. The Creta gets paddle shifters for this twin clutch gearbox. The one noticeable difference between the two midsize SUVs are the tires. Now the tire size is the same, 215 by 60 R17, but the Seltos gets Goodyear Assurance tires, whereas the Creta gets Nexen N-Pris tires. But these are both the same size and on 17-inch alloy wheels. On the pricing front, both the Seltos and the Creta are almost identical, though the Seltos has an advantage because you get the manual transmission with the turbo engine, and that starts at 15.29 lakh rupees for the GTX MT, and the GTX Plus MT is 16.29 lakh rupees. Now, talking about the twin clutch with the turbo petrol engine, the Creta comes in slightly cheaper at 16.16 lakh rupees for the SX Turbo, whereas the SXO Turbo with the DCT is 17.20 lakh rupees. In comparison, the Seltos, the GTX Plus with the DCT is 17.29 lakh rupees, and the GTX with the DCT is 16.29 lakh rupees. So net in terms of pricing, also both are identical. What will swing your decision is styling. Do you want to go for the sportiness of the Seltos or the sensuous sportiness of the Creta? Well, you got to make up your mind, and soon we will bring you a comprehensive comparison test of driving both these cars on the road. For now, stay home, stay safe, and we'll bring you more such spec comparison videos. Subscribe to the Evo India channel and hit the bell icon to keep pace with the thrill of driving.